Clips. Alrighty YouTube, another one of Kip's Clips. So you would have probably heard earlier on today that after it's getting called lies more than false flag. People are saying they've just actually made this up. There was no missiles, there was no attack, there's no scorched earth, there's no debris. The United States, we had missiles fired at us, but they didn't hit, but we know they fired at us, attack! Today on the Yemeni coast, now we have it escalating to the stage where Iranian warships deployed off the Yemen coast after US bombs Houthi targets. Now, we'll have a quick look at this, then I want to bring you to a wee excerpt out of a Machiavelli documentary, and it's a must-watch. I watched this, when was it on the BBC? 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and it was amazing. And I keep calling the book The Little Prince, but it's The Prince. I think I call it The Little Prince because it's a little book. But it's a good, it's a good idea to touch base with his concepts. Due to the fact it's Tony Blair read the book, a lot of military officers read the book, a lot of people still read the book and refer to it. But anyway, before we do that, we'll have a wee a roundup as to what's happening over on the Yemeni coast.
Established a military presence off Yemen's coast by sending 2 warships. It's in the area that was subject to attack from a US vessel after it was fired on by Houthi rebels. RT's Paula Sleer has got the details.
What we are seeing now is a sure but steady escalation of the Yemeni conflict. Iran has sent 2 warships to the Gulf of Aden, and that is according to the semi-official Tasnim news agency. This allows Iran now to establish a military presence in the waters off Yemen, the same waters where the US military launched cruise missile strikes on areas that are controlled by Iran-backed Houthi forces. Now, the United States has said that it was targeting Houthi-controlled radar sites. This is the first direct hit by the US forces in this conflict, and this is how Washington explained its actions.
These limited self-defense strikes were conducted to protect our personnel, our ships, our freedom of navigation in this important maritime passageway. The United States will respond to any further threat to our ships and commercial traffic.
Now,
if he's sitting up there still in the paradigm, we're the good guys, we would never do anything like that, our army tells the truth, our press tells the truth, we would never kill innocent people. Why would we kill innocent people? Well, I'm going to show you and prove to you that this is the doctrine of the UK army and beyond, and how they're very well capable of doing it. And it's through that very simple. If you believe you're the good man and you've got some Machiavellian in you, the ends justify the means. So if you're doing something good, it doesn't matter how many skulls you have to crack to do it. That's kind of where they're coming from.
This attack was in retaliation against failed attacks by Houthis on another US warship, the latest of which was on Wednesday. But the Houthis have denied these allegations of attacks. Now, Yemen has been in...
they've denied allegations of these attacks. Put it into your common sense box, your brain. The Houthis getting a pounding off of Saudi. What's the first thing you want to do? Let's start a war with America. Makes perfect sense.
Civil war since its leader was ousted by Shia rebels known as Houthi rebels. And the Saudi-led coalition has been conducting airstrikes in Yemen since March 2015 to help its internationally recognized government. And it's been aided with weapons and supplies and intelligence by the United States. But fragments that are said to be from a US-made missile were found during a recent bombing of a funeral in the rebel-held capital, Sana'a. And the Houthi rebel leader has said that the United States is the main party responsible for this bombing. So you have Iran, and it has been supporting these Houthi rebels. And Saudi Arabia and the US...
Right, well, they touch on the wedding there. They didn't get down to the facts and figures, but the stupid idiot's rambling on too much. 110, 120, 130 people dead at that wedding. Now, you hear about this all the time. You hear about it all the time, weddings getting hot left, right and centre, and for a normal person it's hard to understand. Why would they bomb a wedding? We're the good guys. Haven't you seen Platoon? Haven't you seen all the Saving Private Ryan and all that? We're the good guys. Well, in war, the ends justifies the means. That's what they think when they're on the ground when your life is in risk. You've got no time for moral bullcrap. If your job is to there to win the war, you go there and win the war, and the people who will then cover your tracks will stand up there and say, no, we're not bombing innocent people, but under the radar they're kind of allowed. Let's have a wee listen to this.
Using the prince as a guide to warfare may sound a bit extreme.
You bastard though. Oh, hold on, I know where that was actually. Look, it's all the threes. 33 and a third. It's all the threes. Funny that, isn't it? The Prince, what he's talking about is the book. Just so he's not.
Using the prince as a guide to warfare may sound a bit extreme, but that's exactly what Colonel Tim Collins did when he was in Iraq. Collins is famous for the...
Using a 500-year-old book, almost as a bit older than Jesuits, a 500-year-old book in modern warfare as a guide? I thought this guy had orders and commands and stuff, but obviously not.
Rousing speech he made on the eve of battle, later recreated in a short film starring Kenneth Branagh.
There are some who are alive at this moment who will not be alive shortly. Those of them who do not wish to go on that journey, we will not send them. As for the others...
What is less known is that while he was in Iraq, Collins kept a copy of The Prince with him at all times.
Tony Blair. Tony Blair, after he won the election and became Prime Minister within that year, went and visited Machiavelli's house in Venice. And Tony Blair was a big fan of The Prince as well. Tony Blair was practices Machiavellianism.
In Iraq, I kept dipping into it, and I carried it around in my map pocket, and I would take it out and read it. I would study to find out what it was he was specifically saying about what will cause populations to hate you. Because here's the headline news. What would have got you hated 500 years ago is what's going to get you hated today. So it's worth studying it to see what it is he's saying. This is the book I had with me in Iraq. And it's pretty fragile now because it literally has been through the wars. And the sand still falls out, but if you read Machiavelli, you realise at the end of the day, what you've got to do is the right thing.
What you've got to do is the right thing? Who couldn't agree with that? Now just listen how this logic... You could argue it gets twisted or it is a cold, hard reality, but what you will find is this guy's saying he's doing the right thing, and if I'm doing the right thing, I will do whatever I want to do the right thing. It's crazy.
So if you're in an occupied village, we could organise a football match and give out bars of soap. Or we could have a curfew and tell you the first person I catch with a weapon is a dead man. And I want all weapons handed in tomorrow. And after that, anybody caught with one is a dead man. And then get all the weapons handed in. And once all the weapons are out of the way and they fear your very shadow, then we can have a football match.
Right, so did you get that? Did you hear what you just said there? We go into a village, we're occupying it, we don't hand out bars of soaps and give them games of football, we impose curfews, and when they fear your very shadow, you know, I don't know, like you fear the government, like you fear the cops, and when you fear their very shadow, they rock up and they're nice to you. That is Machiavellianism. That is ruling through fear.
And do you think, as a manual, that this had lessons for you?
Absolutely. I mean, he is spot on throughout. And I think that all he's saying ultimately is, for good or for ill, this is what works. So on that basis, I think he's the good guy.
For good or for ill, that's what works. So whatever works, you do it. So let's say if you want to break the spirit of a fighting force, if bombing their weddings works, do it. And it's okay because you're doing the right thing, and Machiavelli told you so. It's not as if there's British Army soldiers walking about with a 500-year-old fucking book telling them how to smash people. that is what we're living with. That's what we're dealing with. People that can't even think for themselves are fucking dealing. Look at this wee monkey-looking fucking Jesuit bastard, Machiavelli. Go and watch the documentary. Go and look at the symbolism in his house and in his coat of arms and stuff. I'm going to go and revisit myself because I would like to put it into the timeline again of the Jesuits and the symbolism. What I can quite closely remember is when I was watching the documentary, I was like, my God, he's got the fucking Jesuit gang sign in his room. And then he just go on to decipher a wee bit of that and stuff. So I'll leave a link for that down below. You can go and check it out. And I'll leave a link for that if you want to go and listen to the RT talking heads.
Then saying Iran is providing the Houthis with arms. Iran, however, consistently...
All that important. The Iranians have a permit.
They do get the Iranian talking head on as well, which is quite interesting, but I'm not going to bore you with RT bullcrap. Thumbs it up, share it on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, all the good stuff. Leave all your comments, good, bad, ugly and indifferent. I'll leave a link for that Machiavelli documentary as well. Alrighty YouTube, thanks for listening. Catches.
It's a fear-porn, it's a fear-porn, it's fear-porn. It keeps you cheesing the knees and the rats and the race and those peasants in the days like a hit up on these. It's a fear-porn. Keeps clear.